I'm Betty. Welcome back to Illustrators Struggle Episode 2. So today I'm so happy that we will have Susanna as our guest to share her experience about being an illustrator. And also I will combine several replies from the last year so you can see what other illustrator is facing now. I'm sorry it takes so long for me to publish the second episode, but I really want to have a more different kinds of aspect and different kinds of material that I could share with you. Let's just get into it. Could you introduce yourself and share your illustrator journey?
I'm from Italy. I live there with my boyfriend and my 2 cats. And I've always been interested in art, and I studied art in high school. At that point, I wasn't sure how this passion for drawing into a job, but then I found out about illustration and I fell in love with it and realized that it was what I was looking for. And so I moved to Milan and I studied there for 3 years, and then I started working as a freelancer. I've been working as a freelance illustrator for 8 years, mainly in the publishing industry, so especially children's books, but I also created illustrations for magazines, a couple of board games and other projects, really interesting projects. And this is the thing that I like the most about my job, our job, is that you can work with clients all around the world and work on a wide variety of projects, and it's always super fun.
So what's the most difficult thing for you as an illustrator, and why?
I think the most difficult is managing my time, and I think that something that really helped me is to have a separate working space from home. In fact, since the beginning, I decided to have to use a co-working space because I needed to separate my working hours from the rest of my life, because I tend to get distracted very easily. And if I don't set rules for myself, I tend to procrastinate a lot and lose a lot of time. So I needed to set rules. And so this needed to manage my time let me think about some tools and strategies. The fact that I share a working space with someone else, it's useful because you don't have so many distractions, and especially if you share an office with, at the moment I'm sharing a co-working office with a friend of mine. She's an illustrator too. It's great because you can, if you share a space with other creative people, you can ask for suggestions and also support each other, and it's great. All my tools are in my office because I don't want to find myself working at home or maybe during the weekends. For I don't know if for everyone that works in the creative field it's like that, but for me, working as an illustrator, I could work on my project 24 hours a day. So I need to say, okay, no. You are going to work when you are in your office, and then at home maybe I work a couple of hours on my personal project, but not in the weekends, for example. I tend to think about my work all of the time, and it's not really healthy.
Let's see what other illustrators said. So the first one is Mariana. I really like her work, it's amazing. And here is what she said. She said that the most difficult thing for her is separating life and work. When I'm involved in a project I like, it occupies my mind all day long. I usually can't think in other things. It's difficult to put boundaries to the work time, but it's good that she has a kid to help her to disconnect from the work and have a break. Next one is Miriam. She said that the hardest thing for me as a freelance illustrator is that I never turn off my work brain. With an office job, you can clock out at 5 o'clock, but for me, I find it hard to stop thinking about work once my workday is over and on the weekends. So sometimes it becomes quite tiring to always have work on my mind. And here is Evie. I really like her style and the drawings. It's really brilliant to combine ceramic those together. I really love her work. And here is what she said. She said that she found it hard to stop working and close the door on her work at the end of the day. It's very easy to feel a sense of guilt when not at my desk. Thoughts of I shouldn't be relaxing down here when I could be drawing upstairs right now. The last one is Jenny. I really love her cute illustration and the colorful composition of the drawing. And here is what she said. She said that the most difficult part as an illustrator is to know how to better organize our professional and personal time to draw. As it's my job, I draw full-time for work. And then on my free time, I don't want to draw despite it's my passion. So little by little, you can experiment new things and being stuck with the same style. Also, the second difficult part is not being enough considered as a real job. So let's back to Susanna. Do you have any suggestions for illustrators if they don't have the budget to separate their working space?
You dedicate to clients and to your personal projects. It's very important because have time for personal project can help you be more creative and develop your style or work on project that you really like, or just work on your portfolio is very important. Yeah, I think being able to find the time, even if you don't have a separate space, separate the time you dedicate to client jobs and personal projects, or marketing or other stuff.
Do you have any tips to prioritize your time between client work and personal projects?
I tended to manage my personal projects as they were client projects. For example, often we give priority to client projects because, we need to pay our rent and everything, so we need the money. Yeah. But then we delay or ignore our personal projects that are important. So I decided to plan time for them as they were projects from a real client. So I am the client in that case. Yeah. And so I set a deadline and what I want to do and the time frame I'm going to use for doing it. Yeah, and in this way, not all it's not possible every time, because sometimes I have weeks where I have only time for my client jobs. Then the rest of the month is I try to give the same amount of time for both. Prioritize your tasks. Sometimes we think that everything is important and we have so many things to do. But most of the time, the things you write down on your to-do list are not so important, so focusing on the most important things. Something that was a game changer for me was deciding in advance how much time I'm going to spend on each task, on each project, for example. Because if I give myself 10 hours to work on a project, I'm going to procrastinate for the first 6 hours and then do the job at the last minute. Instead, if I give myself just 2 hours to do the same job, I'm going to find a way to do it more effectively, and at the end, it will be also better. I focused my attention and energies. Yeah, for example, for an illustration, I set, for example, 2 hours for the sketching part, and then another couple of hours for the coloring. And I try to stay inside the time frame I decided, so I can plan the entire week that way. I tested it, and at the beginning I didn't believe that it could work, but because it felt like, well, but I can't force myself to be creative in 1 hour. But then I found out that it works because you needed to turn off every notification or other distraction and to focus your attention to the job the work you're doing, and you can be very effective in so little time.
How do you plan everything?
Usually each Monday I decided a plan for I schedule my entire week. Usually I keep 2 days when maybe in the morning I keep a couple of hours for, I don't know, maybe something unexpected happens and I need to take care of it. So I schedule the week, but without filling every slot of my time, let's say this, because I know that something unexpected can happen, or maybe I don't receive feedbacks in time from the client, or I don't know. At the beginning, it was a bit difficult. It's not the same for everyone, because maybe someone prefers to work in the morning, someone else in the afternoon or evening. So I think it's important to find the best time for you to work on your projects, and also plan for free time. For example, on my schedule, I have time just to, I don't know, think about what I want to do, or just relaxed, or just for myself, and not for work related stuff. So I think it's important to, because often if I have a free afternoon, I tend to think, okay, but I can do something else. I can work on another project. The other part of my brain tells me, no, keep a break, take a break, take your afternoon off and relax, and then tomorrow you will start working again. But it's difficult for us because working as a freelancer, you have so many things you have to worry about that we tend to fill every hour with something we need to do. Most of the time it's overwhelming, and you risk to burn out yourself. This is common, but I think we need to keep it in mind and be more gentle with ourselves.
Are you a morning person or a night owl?
It really depends on because for a couple of months at the beginning of this year, I was a morning person because I was waking up very early in the morning, and I was very productive in the morning. But right now, I tend to switch in the afternoon. In fact, the next week, I want to try to have my mornings off and to work only in the afternoon, because I don't know, it depends. But no, I'm not able to work during the night because I needed to sleep a lot, at least 8 hours, because if not, I'm not able to do anything. I like to experiment to change my schedule and see what works best for me. Don't force yourself if you find it difficult. A favorite part of the day where it's more focused and effective. You read on articles that you need to wake up at 5 a.m. in the morning and do exercises, and no way I'm going to do something like that. I tried, but no.
Anything else you want to share?
I was thinking if there are other tools or strategies that I use for managing my time, and I think that another very easy thing to do is to keep a notebook close to you while you are working, and if something comes up, like for example, I need to do that in the afternoon, or I don't know, someone to call or an email to send, you don't need to stop your working flow, your creative flow, but just you write it down on the notebook, like jot it down, and you will do it later. So you don't need to stop yourself, interrupt your working process, but you just write it down and you'll do it later, and so you are sure you won't forget about it. And I found it very useful just to have a piece of paper where you write down everything.
Let's see what other illustrators' suggestions. Maybe you can keep a tidy schedule and put clear goals for the day and stick to them. Jenny writes all the tasks in a weekly planner, and she take 1 or 2 days off. And Jenny also say that to be able to live from Illustrator, it's important to diversify your activity. Also, she introduced 2 amazing illustrators, creators, to us that we could find some answer or solutions from their Instagram. So the first one is Lauren Home. I think she's amazing. She shared a lot of information like Q&A, and theirs is very useful for the creators. When you encounter those situations or you have those thoughts, what would you do? And the next one is Ella. I really like her drawings and their style. She also shared how to effectively work from home. I think it's very helpful or useful for us. So here is today's conclusion. How to manage my time well? The first one is separate your space or time. No matter is your working space or your personal space, it's better to separate it, and also the time for your own work and for client work. And the second one is plan everything on each Monday for a week. Actually, I do this as well. I like to plan everything on Monday and for a week, so I know what's my goal for this week. And the third one is allocate time for each task or maybe each project. You will know that each project, how many time you spend on it. The last one is to prioritize your tasks. You to know which one you should finish first or which one doesn't really need you to take that much effort on it. Because sometimes for me, I like to do the things that is least important, and then in the end I find out, I spend so much time on the thing that I don't think is very useful or it doesn't helpful at all. So it's really important that you know your goal and to prioritize things. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to me. See you next time.